Is there anybody from the public who would like to speak on any agenda item here tonight? Ms. Jackson?
Like, what you doing?
What are you doing over there? All right, seeing no others, I'll close the public comment section. All right, I'm going to ask for approval of the minutes from the last commission meeting, December 19, 2012. You all have a copy of the minutes in your packet. Mr. Freeman, motions to approve. Mr. Osbury seconds. Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next on the agenda, the consent calendar. Are there any commissioners who want to remove any of the items off of the consent calendar? Can I get a motion to accept the consent calendar? Mr. Freeman, Mr. Selder seconds. Any opposed? Consent calendar passes. Presentations. First presentation, Ms. Aubrey Neighbors Jackson. Will you please approach the podium?
You can do it. We have a
Okay.
It is quite awkward.
Jackson, it looks like there's two items the commission would like to present you with tonight. The first one is a nice plaque recognizing and thanking you for your service here as a BREC Commissioner from 2003 to 2012. I think you're the longest tenured here. We appreciate that. We also have a certificate. It's a resolution from the commission expressing our gratitude and our thanks to you for your service here at BREC. Not only just on the commission, but on the selection of professionals committee. Your work on the projects with City of Brooks Community Park, Magnolia Mountain, and Not My Children. I can tell you on a personal level, I thank you. I know a lot of times we've had to make tough, hard decisions. Sometimes we see eye to eye, sometimes we don't, but you've always made this fun. You've kept us professional. You've taught me a lot, and I've enjoyed my time here with you. Thank you very much for serving.
Ms. Jackson, before you make your comments, we have some additional items that we would like to review with you. Okay. Stephanie Trim is with the, obviously with the Personnel Human Resource Committee, and she has a special plaque on behalf of this organization that we would like to give to you because you kept us on track and you made sure we made the right decisions and you corrected us when you thought we were making the wrong ones. So we appreciate your leadership. We appreciate all of the work that you've done for this community on the Planning Commission as well as on the BREC Commission. And we know that we can look forward to you serving on the BREC Foundation and other committees that we will work with. So we're so appreciative of your service. And with that, I'll ask Stephanie to present to you a plaque from BREC.
For your loyalty and dedication, which will long be remembered and appreciated. January 1st, 2003, December 31st, 2012. I would just like to say again, we really appreciate everything you've done, Ms. Jackson, and being with us as our chair, Human Resources, on behalf of the department and all of the organizations in the community that you have done. You've made it possible for us to get a lot of policies through. We've had some challenges, but along the way, we appreciate your questions and make sure we come back with the right answers. So, thank you.
This is really a sad moment. I love BREC, and I'm going to miss you, but I'll still be around. And I'd like to thank everybody for putting up with me, because, you know, sometimes pain in the neck, but at least I would tell you what I felt and how I felt. It wasn't that you had to guess. And I'd like, in turn, to thank my family, which I want my daughters to stand.
Thank you all for your support.
And my pastor. My pastor. Now, half of my children couldn't be here because they're working, but I told them to come from work, but some of them say, oh, I can't make it. But anyway, they put up with me, and I know they love me because I love them. And I just can't pick one person out, but I just say everybody at BREC has been real nice. And I was telling Marion that she's going to enjoy this board because it's a little different from planning, but BREC is a family. And when I say a family, I mean from the maintenance on up, we are family. And I've enjoyed working with everybody. I'd like to thank you, and I will be back. So if I have any questions, I'm going to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
One piece of business along these lines, and I apologize for introducing this. I wasn't really aware of this or what we're going to do on this regard, but I would like to entertain a motion in a second to accept this resolution that I would like to adopt tonight. If you give me a second, I'll read it. Resolved that the Commission express appreciation to Ms. Aubrey Neighbors Jackson for her outstanding contributions to the recreation and park programs of East Baton Rouge Parish from 2003 to 2012. Ms. Neighbors Jackson served on the Commission during both high and low points, from BREC being a finalist for the Gold Medal Award, adopting the Imagine Your Park strategic plan, and gaining reaccreditation to the destruction and repairs resulting from Hurricane Gustav. Some of her significant contributions are as follows. Served as the chair of Bylaws Committee, tasked with the total revision of the Commission bylaws. Served as the chair of the Selection of Professionals Committee, and served on the selection panel for major projects including City Brooks Community Park, Magnolia Mound Plantation, and Knock Knock Children's Museum. Served as chair of the Human Resources Committee and worked to accomplish many changes involving revamping our training plan and volunteer program. She was involved in our 2006 compensation study and our current compensation study. Served on the selection committees for many of our current executives, including both of our current assistant superintendents, Dale Ozan and Ted Jack, our finance director, Sheila Savoy, our park operations director, Justin Smith, and our IT director, Stephen Knight. She also was involved in the selection of our former superintendent, William Palmer, and our current superintendent, Carolyn McKnight. I'd like to adopt this on the 24th day of January 2013, and I'd like to submit it.
So moved.
Mr. Sam, Mr. Guillory seconds. Any opposed? Ms. Jackson, thank you very much for your service, and to her daughters in there, thank you for sharing your mom with us. And I'm glad you didn't bring all your grandkids because there's not enough chairs in here. Second part of the presentation is the BREC video.
February is going to be a busy month in East Baton Rouge Parish. BREC's 2013 golf season kicks off at Webb Memorial Golf Course on February 9th. The Mardi Gras Mania Golf Tournament is the first of 8 tournaments in which points accumulate towards BREC's Golfer of the Year. The event is open to professionals and amateurs alike, and participants can register at any of BREC's 7 golf courses. Call 383-4919 for more information. Share the love on February 9th with I Love My Zoo Day. This Valentine extravaganza includes safari amphitheater programs featuring the sometimes strange and amazing birds and the bees facts as they apply to our affectionate animals. Make a Valentine for your favorite person or animal. Regular zoo admission applies. Call BREC's Baton Rouge Zoo at 775-3877 for more information. Need to brush up on your tennis swing? The Fat Tuesday Junior Tennis Camp is back and ready to challenge kids of all ages. This camp will run on February 11th and 12th from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and is $89.99 per participant. Campers will learn stroke formulation, skill building, scoring strength, and enjoy superstar fun games. And remember, you must bring your own lunch. For more information, call the Capital One Tennis Center at City Brooks Community Park at 343-3767. BREC celebrates Black History Month in a big way February 15th at the Independence Park Theater. The annual Black History Month program showcases a variety of musical performances and performing arts celebrating the rich cultural heritage of African Americans. The program begins at 6 p.m. and is fun for all ages. For more information, call 272-9200 extension 400. Dance the night away on February 15th at BREC's Womack Ballroom for the Cupid's Bash Sunshine Social. Through a partnership with Families Helping Families of Greater Baton Rouge, BREC offers monthly socials for adults with disabilities and their friends and family. The party starts at 6 p.m. and will feature a disc jockey, snacks, door prizes, and more. Call 272-9200 extension 557 for more information. Inspired by the French fashion icon Coco Chanel, Fashion Illustration with a French Flair is a 6-session workshop which focuses on teaching the fundamentals of fashion illustration through a palette of techniques and media. Classes will be held at BREC's Administration Building at 5 p.m. starting Monday, February 18th. Ages 15 and older are welcome, and no drawing or sewing experience is needed. For registration information, call 383-1470 or visit BatonRougeGallery.org. BREC welcomes players of all skill levels to participate in the Cedar Ridge and Forest Park pickleball tournaments February 23rd and 24th. Competitors will be divided by age groups in doubles, mixed doubles, and singles competition. The initial fee is $15, with $5 for each additional event. Players 13 and older are welcome to participate, and the action starts at 8 a.m. For more information, call 272-9200 extension 403. Visit us at BREC.org, then like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch us on YouTube for more information and events. And remember, it all starts at BREC.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to deviate for just a second from the agenda here. I hate to do this, but Ms. Lori, you are a new commissioner here. I want to welcome you officially, and I ask you if you'll introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Lori Marion. I'm married to Jason Marion. We have 3 little boys. Professionally, I'm an attorney. I work for Down Saffield and Boudreaux, and I'm the nominee from the Planning Commission. I've been sitting on the Planning Commission for 4 years now, so I know I have some big shoes to fill for Miss Jackson, and I got to serve with her for 4 years, so that was a neat experience. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, I'm going to move on to the reports of officers and standing committees. I'm going to start with the superintendent's report. Ms. McKnight.
Mr. Chair and members of the commission, I have a few items to share with you this evening. But the first item, we seek your authorization to allow us to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the organization, and they are the River Bats Foundation. We've been working with them for the last 15 years to provide baseball programs at Goldsby Field. They've made significant improvements to maintain, operate, and manage that property for BREC, and we are asking you to enter into a 2-year contract period with this group. We expect that they will continue to provide quality programs for high school and college-age youth, and hopefully continue to work with us even into the future. And so I would need your authorization to move forward on this.
Mr. Freeman makes a motion to approve. Mr. Guillory seconds. Any opposed? Okay, the endeavor is approved.
Under the communications area, we have a few items for your attention. One that I really wanted to stress is the first one, and I would like to ask 2 ladies from the Webb Park community to please come to the podium. Julie Perot and Kelsey Funes. These ladies were very instrumental in helping the Webb Park to redevelop, to become the neighborhood park that BREC couldn't do by itself. They are models for this community to help BREC do the things that we do. Because we only had a small amount of money to make all of the neighborhood parks come alive, they stepped up and raised significant money, I believe somewhere around $85,000 within their neighborhood to bring that park alive. New playground, seating areas, benches, and lawns, and all of the things that they'll have there for picnicking and play with the children. And so we're just so appreciative. And I just wanted to call you guys out and say that I appreciate what you've done, and hopefully we'll be able to show this to Baton Rouge and show what can be done when you have a caring neighborhood, people who want to make a difference. So thank you all so much for what you're doing. This item is on your agenda tonight, by the way, to approve. And so I just wanted to let these ladies know how much I appreciate their stepping up and bringing their community support to this process. Would you all like to have anything to say while you're here?
Well, I think Carl Stages asked us to speak very briefly about just how we did it and how this might be replicated in other neighborhood parks as BREC moves forward in its plans to renovate, I guess, its whole portfolio of parks in the area. And I can tell you it was a great experience. It sort of started, I guess, with selfish motives. We live in the neighborhood and we have young kids who want to play in this park. And there's a lot of people like that that live in these neighborhoods. And when you get a few people who are interested, that's how we got involved. We were basically the organizers. But now we've created this whole list of stakeholders in a BREC facility. They're taxpayers, so they're contributing in that way. But they've put their money in, and now they're stakeholders, and they want to know, when is the park going to start? When is it going to be ready? They're going to help take care of it, and we still have interest about different ways we can use the park. So I think that this park will be a model, not only now in the development and the building of the park, but in the use of the park as we go forward. We still have interest. We're still having events. It allowed us a reason and a mechanism to communicate, to connect as neighbors that we didn't have before. And that's sort of what we look forward to going forward. And so we thank BREC for putting the resources, the bulk of the resources in to get it started, because this will be something that allows us as a community, allows the kids to meet. And so I think from BREC's perspective, you now have this whole list of people who are going to take care of what you invest in, who are going to look for ways to use it differently than maybe what you've planned, so that it'll be a fully utilized facility.
And I just to add to that a little bit, when I got involved, I had been involved with Carl before. I worked for Raising Cane's through the dog parks that we had done. And in that time when City Park was redone, that was the first time I had really ever used, I grew up in Baton Rouge, it was the first time I had ever used a playground at a BREC facility in my life. And we live at that park, so it was, Kelsey's right, for selfish reasons that we wanted our park, and it took a lot of coordination and a lot of effort, but it was not a difficult task. I mean, we weren't sure where to start out. We originally thought we were being lofty, saying we'd raise $75,000, thinking maybe we'd get to 50 or 60, but we had more than 150 families that donated on average about $500 a piece. So, and they're very excited about it. My kids personally are very excited about it. They walk door to door, and so they feel like it's their park and can't wait for it to be. And so what we've talked about with Carl is to go ahead and create kind of a how-to guide so it could be replicated in other areas, just a timeline of what we did when and the documents we used and what worked for us. And different models of that can be used throughout the city. So thank you.
Thank you all so much, very much. Let's give them a hand, please. The next item on the agenda is the BREC Foundation's report, and I believe Forrest Mills is here from the foundation to provide you with an update.
Thank you, Carolyn. On behalf of Carl Stages, Executive Director of our foundation, and Todd Graves, our President of our Board of Directors, I thank you for the opportunity to present the fourth quarter report to the Commission from the foundation. I'm Forrest Mills. I'm the treasurer of the foundation this year. These ladies are just an example of what does go on through the foundation. We're excited and thank them for that opportunity. Last year was a tremendous year for the BREC Foundation. We celebrated our 10th anniversary. We reflected back on how we've been working to help the parks and recreation quality of life for the citizens here in Baton Rouge, and had really two big highlights. We were successful in getting a grant from the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Foundation in the tune of $1 million for the Pathways Project, which will also give us a mobile unit that will go around. We're excited about that. And we also completed our donation process with the Turner family for a little over $1.1 million for the Magnolia Mound Visitor Center. So we're really excited about those two big initiatives that we were successful with this year. In total, we collected cash of about $877,000 in donations this year. We've spent about $223,000 back to the BREC facilities, and included with all the amounts that we've just talked about, that we have $1.5 million in cash on hand and about another $1 million in pledges that will come through in the next year. And in turn, we're going to give back, as our estimations, about $1,750,000 just in 2013 for the Magnolia Mound Visitor Center and the projects with the path. So we're really excited about that. We just approved a little over $100,000 to kick off the architect's fees for the Magnolia Mounds Visitor Center, so really pleased with that. We're now focusing on helping Phil with the zoo to raise some money for the elephants, a lofty goal of $6 million to be raised. We're excited about that. I'm a conservative accountant. I said, man, can you really do that? And Carl said, yeah, come on, we can do it. Okay, let's go. So we're excited about that. We just elected 6 new board members, and I'm pleased to say that Ms. Aubrey Neighbors-Jackson is one of them, so welcome to the board officially. She's been our liaison, so we're looking forward to working with Ms. Jackson. We've got about 37 total members, including the board and a community advisory group, and we're just excited about 2013 and going out and doing more good things with BREC. So thank you very much for allowing us to speak.
Thank you for coming, and we look forward to the many wonderful activities and events and developments through the foundation. So thank you for your support. I'm very excited to also bring to you tonight the members from the Baton Rouge State Fair. They're here to share information with us about the status of the 2012 State Fair. We have Mr. J.H. Martin and Mr. Cliff Barton. Would you please come forward? I think they have something special just for BREC.
You gonna make me fly solo tonight? Okay. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Judge McKnight, it's good to see you again. Ms. McKnight helped us out this year at the fair by serving as a judge at a pies, jams, and jellies competition. I won't tell you how much she ate, but it was she had a good time. The 2012 fair was a tremendous success for a lot of reasons, and one of them was the support of BREC staff. They bent over backwards to make our fair just a success this year. They did everything they could to help us, and we are greatly appreciative of them. We just couldn't ask for a nicer bunch of folks to work with. We appreciate it. We've already started planning for next year. We had a good fair this past year. We had 11 days of real good weather. We had a good attendance. We're looking forward to next year. We're going to bring a new midway in, a whole new look, new feel, and new excitement. And that's why I'm here tonight, just to kind of bring you up to date on that. We've already started meeting. We're going to try some new attractions and things like that. The other reason I'm here is per our lease. When we reach a certain dollar volume, you get a portion of it, and I have a check here for you for the remainder of our payment for the fair. So here it is, Ms. McKnight. $85.05, 33 cents. Thank you so much. This was more than last year.
Thank you very much. So we really look forward to continuing to work with you and the things that you do. It was an outstanding event that I attended, and I did gain 2 pounds. So thank you so much for what you do. The next item, we have the presentation from our efficiency team. As you know, we've been working every month to bring efficiencies to BREC. And so our human resources staff would like to share something with you that we've done that I believe you will be very pleased with. So, Ms. Trim, would you please take it from here?
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioners, I'm glad and I'm proud to announce and recognize 3 of our staff members in HR. That's Don Stedman, Becky Pritchard, and Shanda Crosby. If you'll come forward, I would like to recognize them for their tremendous effort in helping us to align with BREC's mission and goals and objectives in improving the efficiencies agency-wide. And so I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about themselves and what they do and how they've helped us achieve this goal for 2012. Shanda.
Good evening. My name is Shanda Crosby, and as Stephanie said, I work in the Department of Human Resources. I am the Employee Benefits Administrator. My efficiencies for the year 2012 include bringing in over $14,000 for participating in the Early Retiree Reinsurance Program. And that is a federal program that provides funds back to BREC for costs that is associated with retiree prescriptions for those retirees that are under the age of 55. Since participating in this program beginning in 2010, we have bought in over $68,000. We also participate in a federal program which is known as the Retiree Drug Subsidy Program. It's with CMS, which is the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services. In 2012, we bought back in $30,175. BREC has been participating in this program since the year 2006 and has bought in over $144,000. So since the conception of both programs, that's over $200,000 in savings that we have been able to bring back and put into our healthcare program to keep the cost at a minimum to our employees. I come to work every day with the mindset that this is a job, but even though it is a job, I come to work with the mindset that I am providing a service to our employees. And with that being said, it makes my day personally go by much easier. And also I'd like to thank my supervisor, Stephanie, for recognizing me tonight, because without her, I wouldn't be standing up here. She enables me and allows me and pushes me to creatively think. She doesn't crowd me or micromanage me. She pushes me forward, so thank you.
Good job.
Hi, I'm Becky Pritchard. I'm a risk manager here at BREC, and I'm responsible for the workers' compensation program. I've been here since 2006, and Stephanie wanted me to mention to you the money that we've brought back in the department just since 2006 is actually over $400,000 in recoveries from second injury funds, subrogations, just going after the parties who were at fault for causing injuries if it was not an injury that occurred within our own organization. Last year alone, we recovered $127,000.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's huge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Basically, the thing I tell the employees is my job is to see to it that you get home to your families in the same condition or as close to the same condition as you came to work in, and that's what I preach. The focus for our program, the focus on the healthier workforce has made tremendous strides in positively impacting our workers' compensation program. We've also implemented a few changes in the hiring processes, which included we look at driving records for our safety-sensitive employees, as well as all employees, not just full-time, but all employees now are screened physically at our occupational clinic. Those are just two of the changes that we implemented on the hiring processes. When there's an accident, before there's an accident, we focus on accident avoidance by training the employees. I know in park operations, when there's about to be a job, they all have a toolbox talk. Is that correct, Justin? Pretty much, yeah. So they want to look at what the job is, what are the possible accidents, and try and engineer them out before an accident would occur or before the job actually starts. After an accident occurs, we investigate it thoroughly. We want to know what caused the accident so that we can avoid any future accidents like that. But we also look at, was it compensable? Did it happen in the course and scope of somebody's employment? We've implemented a transitional duty program, which is designed to bring employees back to work as soon as possible after they've sustained a work injury. What that means is we will do everything we can. We work with the managers to try and find tasks that will allow the employee to return to work and progressively get well until they are able to be at full duty. Furthermore, we do pursue the recoveries and subrogations, as I mentioned earlier, and we maximize the services of our third-party administrator, which presently is Apple Adjusters. And they offer an array of services, and we definitely take them up on their offer. So thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
I'm Don Stedman, Senior Risk Manager for BREC. In 2010, BREC experienced a spike in the number of vehicular accidents. Now we can speculate with the distractions of the technology, texts and cell phones, substance abuse of any sort. But that spike opened up our eyes, and even though we had a defensive driving class in effect, we knew we had to do something and upgrade it. With the support of the department directors, we made it mandatory that all employees that operate vehicles or equipment attend our defensive driving class. And what we've done there is that I've upgraded that defensive driving class, plus added another one for CDL operation and heavy equipment, trailering, securing the load. We saw problems there, as well as the distraction. This was in 2010, where we had 29 vehicular accidents. This complements and adds what Decky was saying, the cost of work-related injuries and the lost time on the job. Within 1 year after implementing our defensive driving class, which was also assisted by Trooper Talley from the Louisiana State Police, his program he brought a rollover vehicle to demonstrate safety belt safety, also substance abuse behind the wheel, how important it is there. He demonstrated that with our classes. And with this, we have reduced our number of vehicular accidents in 2011 down to 18 from 29, which was a decrease in our liability costs of 37%. And in 2012, we had a total of only 9 vehicular accidents, and that was an increase, well, an additional decrease, rather, of 42% in our liability cost in the last 3 years.
Thank you all very much for what you're doing to take care of the system.
Thank you.
And the last bit of information I have to share with you tonight is in front of you. You should find the welcome guide from the official visitors guide provided by the Greater Baton Rouge group, and Cheryl and her team they're responsible for bringing this about. Cheryl, you could come and talk a little bit about it. If you'll notice, we are in the insert in the middle of this this book. We have the centerfold. We also have from pages 82 until 89, and we have all kinds of programs in this particular brochure. And I just wanted to have Cheryl share a little bit about where this is going to be.
When you all approved our marketing plan, this was one of the things that we talked about. Some of our separate facilities, such as the zoo, have participated in this before, and it's with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and this is produced by the Baton Rouge Business Report. When we saw the opportunity to get the center section right near the map, we decided to do what is our first sort of overall BREC ad. This will be in the Baton Rouge Convention and Visitors Bureau, hotels and motels across the city, real estate companies, hospitals. We're going to have them in our own special facilities, chemical plants, LSU, Southern, and then various other agencies. They're producing 120,000 copies of this. And so this will be something that we will probably participate in every year. We expect that it'll be very good for us. We also have become a member of the Louisiana Travel and Promotion Association. This is the first time we've done that. It's very minimal fee, and we are producing an overall BREC guide, which will go in welcome centers across the state. So we're making progress, and just wanted to give you an update. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for all the information you've shared. Mr. Taylor, I just wanted to let you know that They're in hotels throughout the state of Louisiana. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. McKnight. Okay, we'll move on to the Finance Committee. Mr. Sam.
Madam Superintendent, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Commission, we have 5 items for your consideration and approval tonight. I'd like to ask Ms. Savoy to please take us through those 5 items.
The first item is a template that we're going to be using for routine services that are under $15,000 will come and will be approved, as we've always been doing that, by an information item through the Finance Committee. Anything over $15,000 will be presented either through the Finance Committee or through the selection of professionals for approval. We revamped that contract. In your documents, you probably have an example of that. It was a single one-page document, and we're going through and actually doing, as a part of our due diligence, reviewing all of these contracts and updating them to make sure that all the I's and T's are dotted to protect BREC. So basically, the first one is just to approve the that template for us. Do you want to take all of them just at one time?
If that's the pleasure of the Commission.
Okay.
Take them all at once, sure.
The next item is actually an independent service contract. This is for a golf instructor. It's not to exceed $50,000. Actually, we kind of hope he does exceed $50,000 because that means there's 62. Right now, that's $62,500 in revenue he would have to be bringing in order to pay him $50,000. So if we end up having to amend his contract to go above, that would be awesome. The next item is under the construction contracts. We would like to approve the award of the construction contract for the Webb Park Playground improvements to Law Industries for a total of $404,487, which includes the base bid and alternate 2. The next item is to approve the award of the contract to Bluebonnet Swamp Nature Center to Capital Construction for an amount not to exceed $534,768, which includes the base bid and alternate 1. The last item is our annual recreation and athletic supplies, equipment and supplies bid that we do every single year. The amount that we will not exceed to BSN is $42,736.89. Anaconda Sports is $4,125. S&S Worldwide is $5,359.31. Gopher Sports $43,088.32. And NASCO is $14,486.07. And the supporting documentation, the bid tabs and all of that's been provided in the documentation that was sent to you.
Do we have a motion to approve all items? Do we have a question, Mr. Chairman?
I'll make a motion we approve all the items.
Mr. Taylor makes a motion, Mr. Sullivan seconds. Any opposed?
No, I just had one quick question. That was, do we know what the timeline is for the completion of Webb Park? I'm not sure if that was.
Ted will have to answer that for you, but I'm sure weather's a factor these days.
Weather always being a factor, 6 to 7 months or so from start of construction.
Okay, we have no opposition to these items, correct? All of them passed. Anything else,
Mr. Chairman, that completes our report for the Finance Committee.
Great, thank you very much. Human Resources.
My mic's not on, is it? There we go. Human Resources. Ms. Jackson. Sorry. I see just routine transactions are on here anyway, so they're on the consent calendar. We'll move on to selection of professionals. Mr. Taylor.
Dale. See, that was easy.
Good evening, Commissioners. We have 2 items for Selection Professional Committee. We are recommending the Commission to approve the award of the service of our contract to Klein Peter County Veterinarian Services for the 2013 fiscal year. Contract amount not to exceed $35,000. You should have a list of their prices. I'd like to also inform you that these costs have not increased in the last 4 or 5 years. They have been steadily same prices. So, and we're very pleased with the work they do at at the Horse Activity Center with our horses. The other one is to award Tim O'Brien Ferry Service. And for the ones that do not know that, this is the blacksmith. He do the shoeing of the horses and everything else with them, grooming them, and not for his contract to exceed $25,000. Again, you have a price list, and his price has not increased in the last 3 or 4 years, and we're very pleased with the work that Mr. O'Brien has done at the Horse Activity Center. So we ask for your approval on that item, two items.
Mr. Taylor, you making a motion?
Making a motion.
Mr. Sam seconds. Any opposed? Ms. Klein Peter and Mr. O'Brien.
All right.
You're up, Ted.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. This is for Central Community Sports Park. As y'all know, we're finishing up construction out on that park. We have done quite a few things, but there's still some remaining work, and we have a capital outlay project in with the state. There's some movement that project may be able to start moving forward, so we want to start the design work of the construction documents. So this is to continue with CSRS, who is the engineer on the first phase, to do the topographic surveys and the construction documents for phase 2 of the park. So all the funds for this will come from capital outlay if we're successful. And the work involves adding 2 more of the ball fields, which are lighted, the multi-purpose fields, adding on to the parking lots, and a maintenance building.
We do need an approval, Mr. Taylor. Motioning. Mr. Freeman seconds. Any opposed?
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. All right, moving on. Special orders. At this point, we're going to discuss the election of officers. I am going to have to turn the gavel over to Mr. Verge-Osbury.
Thank you, Mr. Riche. At this time, the election of officers, I would like to open up the floor for nominations for the chairman of the BREC Commission. You have another question?
No, I was going to make nominations for, I'd like to nominate Mr. Riche as chairman, and Mr. Osbury as vice chairman, and Mr. Sam as treasurer.
Okay. So I guess we could take them all at once.
Why don't you just do chair and then we'll turn
the chair. Okay. You make the motion, I second that. So you have a vote on it, Chris? Any opposed?
Salary double.
So move.
You need the roll call?
We need no.
Motion second, so move. Congratulations. Your gavel back.
That was fun. You know, last year I got suckered because I wasn't at this meeting. Is why.
You notice how fast I was.
I do appreciate it, and I'm honored. I would like to entertain your statement, Mr. Guillory, to Mr. Osbury and Mr. Sam as Vice President and Treasurer. Mr. Freeman seconds. Are there any opposed there? Congratulations. All right, now we have new officers. I'll move on to the appointment of the standing committees. Looks like on here both Mr. Freedom, Mr. Selders, and Mayor Rito has some appointees to these committees. Can I entertain a motion to accept them? Mr. Sam, Mr. Osbury seconds. Are there any opposed to anyone on these? Seeing none, they all pass. All right, a couple of these right here I want to go ahead and talk about tonight. Right now, BREC's Magnolia Mound and BREC's Baton Rouge Gallery liaisons are up. Mr. Guillory was on the Magnolia Mound, and Mr. Freeman was on the Baton Rouge Gallery. Is there anyone else? They've both offered these positions up if anyone else would like to sit on one of these. If there's nobody right now, we'll talk about it this week, and we'll revisit these two next month. I would like to recommend Miss McKnight continue to stay on the Knock Knock Children's Museum.
Which one you on, McKnight?
If I could get a motion in a second for that one. Okay. Mr. Osbury, Mr. Selder seconds. Is any opposed there? Seeing none, Miss McKnight, you stay on Knock Knock. I have talked to Mr. Stages actually about myself serving on the foundation. Mr. Sam?
Yeah, I'd like to recommend that we reappoint Mr. Guillory back to the BREC's Magnolia Mound Plantation.
Mr. Guillory, do you second? Any opposed? Congratulations, you're back. Hopefully your meetings won't be any harder this year than they were last year. Okay, let's go back to, we're on the BREC Foundation. Like I said, I've talked to Mr. Stages about serving on it as the chair. Can I get a motion, Mr. Freeman? Mr. Osbury seconds. Any opposed to me serving on that? I will serve on that one. Thank you. And Mr. Selders, will you continue on the BRBVA? Do you make a motion to continue yourself? And Mr. Freeman seconds. Any opposed? Seeing none, you're still on. Okay, I think we've knocked down everything. Is that right?
Baton Rouge Gallery?
Baton Rouge Gallery. We can come back to it. I see a possible volunteer down on the end.
I'll go ahead and jump in.
Beautiful. There's been a motion by Mr. Osbury to.
That's right.
I get a second.
Second, third, and fourth.
Doesn't look like any opposed. Congratulations. All right. Let's move on. Unfinished business and general orders. We have none. New business. There's a statement I'd like to make. Next meeting, I will request that we go behind closed doors. I feel kind of funny saying this, but in the act of transparency, I want to get it out there in the public that we as a commission have discussed, or I guess individually, doing something with Ms. McKnight's contract. I think the big problem or issue we've seen when we looked at her contract is it was a 2-year contract. She has completed year 1 of it. We're very pleased, by the way.
Thank you very much.
That being said, I don't want to be in a situation where 2014 we have a tax renewal comes around to the parish that we need to vote upon, or the taxpayers of the parish need to vote upon. I don't think it's very prudent that we be looking for a superintendent at that point. Therefore, and I've talked with Ms. McKnight about it, and she's open to the idea of looking at it also. We're going to go behind closed doors, since it is personal to Ms. McKnight, and just look at her contract and see if there's anything we can do to extend it. I will say, for the record, we're not talking about any monetary differences. We're not talking about a raise. We're not talking about a COLA. We do need to probably iron out a couple of small details in terms of the retirement plan that she's able to contribute to. We'll discuss this in the future, be it a 403B, 457, or if she's on the city parish retirement plan. Possibly even talk about her car allowance, her existing car allowance, and where it is. But that being said, the gist of it is we want to really look at making sure she's our superintendent when we go into a big election come 2014. Just wanted to get that out there before we do this next month, and thank y'all for your time with that.
I just wanted to invite all of you to stick around after the meeting if you can to celebrate Miss Jackson. We have some light hors d'oeuvres for you all to share and say your final goodbyes, but hellos as well to let her know that we appreciate her. So, Miss Jackson, thank you for what you did for BREC, and we will continue to work with you in various capacities. Thank you.
Mr. Osbury.
Laura, you have some big shoes to fill, Ms. Jackson. And since you have 3 boys, you'll be able to deal with these big boys up here, because Ms. Jackson kept us on time. This meeting lasts no longer than an hour. It lasts longer than an hour. She's always letting us know, hurry up, hurry up. So that's going to be one of your new roles. Glad to have you.
Move, we adjourn.
Move to adjourn, second. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.